everyone. Sorry it's been a while since I've made a video after Ada, and then I had visitors, and then I had term papers to grade. I've been kind of busy, but I'm back, and today I'm in Lake Park, and we're standing in front of the Lake Park Town Hall. Lake Park is north of West Palm Beach, and it was a city designed by Kelsey. Kelsey was one of the investors in the Florida land boom. He saw what was happening with Flagler starting the boom, and by the 20s it was really going crazy. Paris Singer was involved, Addison Meisner was building things, and so he bought acreage north of West Palm Beach and built what was known then as Kelsey City. The town hall was built in the 20s and today is on the National Register. You can see it's a Med Revival structure, and you know, it has an interesting history down here. You wouldn't believe the people who were involved with the development of Lake Park, today called Lake Park, and that period called Kelsey City. I looked down the main street here, today called Park Avenue, was called Dixie Way, but he actually hired the Olmsted Brothers firm, if you're not familiar with that name. The Olmsteds designed Central Park, and Harry Kelsey ended up buying, he was from Boston, by the way, ended up buying 100,000 acres and had one of the fastest growing land developments in the 20s when he did this. Unfortunately for him, he was in debt to the IRS. And with the economic decline first begun in Miami with the 1926 hurricane, and then the 28 hurricane here, and the stock market crash, Kelsey had to sell off most of his holdings. He owed money, and he sold off the proceeds. He owned actually most of the Intracoastal Waterway, and it was called the Palm Beach East Palm Beach Canal Company, something like that. He sold it off to the government, and it became the Intracoastal Waterway, and he had to pay that money out to the Internal Revenue Service. He also then proceeded to sell most of the holdings here in Kelsey City to Sir Harry Oakes' corporation. It's all these interesting connections. When I come up here, I think of that. If you don't know anything about the story of Sir Harry Oakes was famous in the Bahamas. I'll turn that camera back on me for a minute really quick so I can just talk. He was famous in the Bahamas for actually being murdered there in '43. It was very scandalous, and if you haven't found out yet, that's where I'm from. So I always bring in the Bahamian history. So anyway, by the time we see the end of that period with the decline of Kelsey City, the residents pulled together and they decided to rename it Lake Park. And that's the history of this area. So I'm going to go down and I'll show you Kelsey Park. They named it in honor of him, and the old house that was moved there. See you in a bit. We're here in Kelsey Park, and I just wanted to walk by over here by the Evergreen house. It's a nice area, it's a nice big park, and finish off my talk about Kelsey City, now known as Lake Park. It was called, by the way, I couldn't remember the name, Florida East Coast Canal. That was the name of the company that Harry Kelsey owned, which later became the Intracoastal Waterway. So as you can see, there was a lot of things happening up in here. Harry Kelsey had some big dreams. In fact, at one point, they were selling $250,000 to $500,000 worth of property a day during the height of the boom. Today, Lake Park is laid back. It was what Kelsey I mean, I think it was what he envisioned. He saw a neighborhood, he was developing an area for the working class. And even Paris Singer was interested in Kelsey's ideas. And if you don't know anything about Paris Singer, he was one of the children of the inventor of the Singer sewing machine, and I'll talk about him later. So I hope that this is interesting to some of you if you're from this area. Not, come on down. There's some good food here in Kelsey City, Lake Park. So it's an interesting area, another place to see here on the East Coast in Palm Beach County. Don't forget, if you like the video, hit like, subscribe, join me, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Dr. A, History Surfer.